What about making your sound better?
Alright, that was my mic was not unmuted. This button on this microphone is not the greatest at unmuting mics. Hello, people. It's Murder. I think that's how you say your name. If not, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Casper, what's up? I think it's Jasix, what's up? EDM Pick, oh, what's up? Audio Trackers, welcome. Tobias, I think is how you say your name. Nice. All right, cool. Let me put my face up on the screen. Cool. Here we are. All right. So, to get things kicked off, there is going to be no giveaway pack today. We have a lot of stuff going on. We haven't really had the time to plan the giveaway, meaning figure out a way to get. I don't. It's not really hard to set up a giveaway. I don't want anyone to think that it is. It's not. It's. We just haven't been on top of it. We have a lot of stuff that, you know, Roman and I and the team are doing on a daily basis that it's not the easiest to think about that. I'm always just waking up thinking, oh, I have a stream in an hour. So I've been doing this thing where I've been showing you guys a track that I've been listening to a lot these last couple of days, I guess in the week you could say. I changed my name, FYI. My name is no longer Cure, it was Khur. I changed it to Alaska. That was actually a name I've been wanting for a long time. I just never really put it in. So Alaska is my name. Alright, so here's the song. It's called Everyday featuring Yozi VIP, free download. The original track is a lot lighter than this. This is actually the thumbnail that Virtual Riot uses. But it's just black and white. So this one's a heavier remix. So I'll play like a little bit of the build up and then the drop. Music up a little bit for you. I could be a There's this clipping going on in my headset. I don't know if it's from I don't know what it is. You guys can see up here, I think a little bit, it's an orange. It's 151 degrees Fahrenheit. 5178 RPM. That's specs on how my computer's doing with heat. It's doing pretty well, but it's still, I don't know if it's my headset or what. But okay. What's going on? Next, start at 7 p.m. Some songs are before the stream. We delete the ones before the stream. You're technically not supposed to put the songs in the feedback live stream thing until the stream has started at 1 o'clock. So even if I start the stream at 12:55 and you start posting it, usually a mod won't delete it before then. And we actually got 2 new mods, so people, I need you to welcome Futric. I think I mentioned this already. Futric and JP on the mod squad. There are a couple things I'm seeing I'm not used to. Music sharing? Is it the same thing as self-promotion? Or is it just... Okay. I think it's been there a while. I just haven't seen it. So technically you're not supposed to put the songs up before the stream starts, or usually Techlix is pretty good at kicking them all off. What is happening here? Feedback for feedback. That's why. That's why. Can you be a mod? It really depends. We have 3 already. We had a couple more. Techlix messaged me. I will look at your message here in a second. Techlix, sorry. Let's go to this dude's. Can you be a mod? That's a good question. I'm honestly looking for a couple more. Strictly because I want to do some big things. Once we have a lot of stuff happening, I can't say anything, so it's hard for me to actually explain to you what I want to. No need for that. It's not important. I don't know what you mean. Oh, okay. I see your message. I got you. We're doing some things with our company right now, so there may be some bigger things happening with Discord. I'm trying to plan that we would need more mods for. So here's the first track. Forewarning everybody, my headset for some reason is like cutting out all these low end frequencies that I should be hearing. I know are there, but because you can hear some of the clipping in them, at least in my headset I can hear some of the clipping. I don't know what's going on with it today. Usually it's pretty good. This audio rig I have is what screws it up a little bit, but okay, so honestly, the collapse should probably be faded out towards the end of that. So the effect sounds are actually... I do. Well, no, I don't. It's like I mean, it's not the greatest studio monitored headset. It's a Razer Kraken headset, and it's meant for surround sound frequency boosting. And I have the Synapse thing right up here. But as soon as I turn on this multiple output device so I can have it going here as well as it going to you guys, because that's the way Macs work for some stupid freaking reason. It just, quality just gets like crapped on, and I just can't deal with it. Because I want to be able to tell you guys, hey, your lows are pretty good, but I can't, because, God, you guys are going to have to be the low-end people, so pay attention to everything that's low-end. Join DZM, it should be in the description. I could be wrong. No, it's in the description. But, yeah, so your claps should actually kind of fade out. Maybe have them louder towards the beginning of the build, and have them fade out. More volume-wise, and then have the effects fade in more mixed, so they kind of cross like this. So when it gets towards the end of the drop, the drums are fading out in frequency, and you're keeping the build kind of consistent, more or less with like the synths and the effects and the white noise that you have building it up. So we can get rid of the drums and get a sense of intensity without a lot of obstruction. And then once this drop hits, which right there. Too much happening right there at one time, because you can hear it's like, well, is there a kick? Is there an impact? Is there a white noise? Yes. You can answer that question with yes, there is all of that. So what I would do, like after that it's fine, but right here, maybe if you have a white noise should be, especially at the beginning of a drop, they should more or less not even really be there. They should be there as in like frequency ranged to show impact, but they really shouldn't be heard all that much. So drop that mix down and sidechain it with that kick, so it's more of like a fade into the white noise. Vocals are mixed at a good volume. Well, a little bit too loud on the frequencies, though. Maybe cutting down the baby noises a little bit. By baby noises, I mean baby frequencies, which are the frequencies that humans don't like to hear. It's just a certain frequency range. I forget what it is. And this volume transition should be a little lower. But other than that, everything else is fine. Drums are mixed. Everything else is up to par when it comes to mix down. Just that introduction to the drop and the build up towards the end with the claps and everything like that is all I got. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you for submitting the track. Head over to Facebook and share the stream. I know there is one over there. Just go share it. Just get us more people in here. 23 people watching. I know it's because I'm on a Monday. I had a lot of stuff going on yesterday. I'm gonna skip a little bit.
Vai malandra, eita louca, tô brincando com bumbum, desce rebola gostoso, empina me olhando, eu te pego de jeito. Se eu começar embrasando contigo é taca, 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 taca.
Desce rebola gostoso, empina te olhando, eu te pego de jeito. Se eu começar embrasando contigo é... Não vou mais parar. Você vai aguentar. Não vou mais parar. Você vai aguentar.
That kick could be mixed in a little bit better. A little more side chaining on all the other elements, so that way we can hear that frequency pump in a little bit. The little bass you have in the background, that's supposed to be the thumpy bass of Brazilian bass. Should be a little lower in frequency, a little more grimy. Yeah, that's why I said the high bass sounds weird. Yeah, that's what I'm... Is it high? It might be mid, but either way. It's a cool track. It seems like it's a legitimate Brazilian bass track, but... Like, the vibe of it's awesome. But there is some weird pump up bass that's a little too stereoed. Everything bass related should be in the center, should be mono, and everything around that should be your kick, pretty much your kick, not fully monoed, but your sub and your bass elements should be primarily monoed, unless it's the sound design of it. And if it's gonna be stereo, not too much. Okay, dealing with some stuff on my phone has happened. Anyway, so I would so since this yeah, that little bass, that thud bass that's in the background should be one lower in the mix, so it's more of a bass tone instead of, if you just had, honestly, if you had it lower in volume and had that lead primarily taken over, it would sound really cool and really vibey. This is a little weird. It looks a little weird to me. And turn it down a little lower in frequency and have that sub pulse with it. That'd be really cool. So work on lowering that, or just work on the overall design of that little bass. And there's like a little, what sounds like a little rise up bass that happens every now and again. It has a lot of white noise to it. I would work on the mono of that, making that a little bit more mono than as wide as it is. But I do like the vibe of this a lot. What do you think about websites make free downloads for your plugins and samples? Don't even get me started on that, Jasix. It really depends on if we are licensed with them, which every single website that releases any of our stuff, usually 9 times out of 10 we have a license with. Unless it's like freestuffforyou.com, which we have contacted several times with a cease and desist letter. Refuse to take anything down. It frustrates me because you can literally get demos of our stuff on our website. Or you can come to live streams and sometimes you'll win one. Or you can just buy it for 14 pounds. It really doesn't. You could also pick from the newest message on Facebook because it's kind of unfair from those who are like 2 or 3 minutes late on the stream. Trust me, I've tried to find a better way to do this. And the only way to do it that makes a little more sense is first come, first serve. Because they were here and on time. Matt, I understand. Or no, Andrea, I think it's how you're saying it. Andre, I don't know. Since you were here a little late, 1, not your fault. 2, kind of is. If you come to the stream next week, you'll know what time it starts. Follow us on Discord. Pay attention to the community. Pay attention to the general chat, and you'll see what time we start. And then maybe you can be on time. On Mondays recently, we've had a lot of people who are new. Don't know if I'm going to finish this. Yeah, you will. We've had a lot of people who are new. Actually, like everybody who came in last Monday was new. So it was actually really weird because I didn't have like Disappear wasn't here. Jasix wasn't here. The Murder wasn't here. I think Murder was here, but I don't remember. All these new people, and no one really has a problem with it because if you were here whenever I had to just pick randomly, that was a whole lot more of a bloodbath than picking in order. Yeah, you weren't here. I would finish it if I were you. There's some mixing things you might need to fix, but I'm assuming it's a work in progress. It is all primarily some EDM tracks being submitted. Yes. We are an EDM production company. Although it would be really dope if we expanded out to stuff like rock and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. I don't feel myself in the melody. You don't feel the melody. You don't feel the melody yourself. Not you don't feel yourself in the melody. I feel you. So maybe the melody is a little too generic for you. I feel like you're a little bit more experimental when it comes to writing stuff like this. You kind of followed a generic path with this one, so I feel like you're just kind of like, eh. Yeah, you are actually a little closest to that alterity, the more that I think about it. No, that would be really cool. Like, Murder, I can do, like, vocals, and people like Sullivan King. Have you guys ever, like, just go to YouTube and look up Sullivan King, or go to SoundCloud and look up his packs, something like that. That'd be really cool to make. I probably have the more capability on the team to do that, but that's a lot of time. Does Mixdown overall, if I'm going to be judging you on Mixdown, I won't too much. I feel like you have this tip that I do a lot of times where when I'm mixing something before the drop is at 0.0 on the mix, and everything before that's actually a -1. It gives the drop a little bit more impact. I feel like you do that a little bit. I could be crazy. But it just, by the waveform, it looks like that. The waveform being very full shows that your frequencies are there, but your mix is just a little muddy because it's not finished. Honestly, I feel like the reason why you don't feel it as much is because it seems a little too generic for you, personally. It feels a little too generic for you. So I feel like... Yeah, Murder, he's awesome. He does a lot of stuff. He has a lot of time. But yeah, I feel like with you it's just a little too generic. So maybe change some things up. Maybe change this melody, right? Write the melody a little different, a little more experimental melody. Some like every now and again put just a mute every now and again to give some more like suspense. I think that would be really cool, guys. Guess what? I'm still coughing. It's been over a month now. I don't know what's wrong. Anyway, it disappeared. I like the way you mix it so far, and the vibe is really cool. I feel like for you, the reason why you don't feel it as much is because this is something you'd hear everywhere. People trying to make the same exact song. And I feel like that's just not you. With the stuff you've brought me, I don't think that's how you roll. So that might be where you are. Alterity, kind of pumped. But thank you, disappeared. Or Casper. Head over to Facebook, share a stream, because I said so. I will never not look at her name as Sandra Bullock every time I see it. I know it's Sandra Bullock, but Sandra Bullock, the actress, is what comes to my head as soon as I see Sandra Bull. Every time. Ivan Van Deen, I don't know how to say last name. It's Feedback live streams. No, it didn't have the vocals alterity. Already right now I can tell you to mix her vocals in a little higher. Since she is the singer over the track, I understand that the instrumental is dope, but you're going to have her vocals a little more powering. The mix on her vocals for being 80s sound and Darkwave is great. Like the effects she did to it are great, but just mix her vocals over the instrument. It's kind of at the same level right now. God, there's an 80s producer that I'm thinking of. He's primarily produced in the 80s. He still makes music now. But the way that you have your background bass pulsing like that reminds me of him. I just can't remember his name. Nothing. Only thing I have to critique you on is maybe making her vocals a little bit, a little louder over the mix, since technically she is a primary vocal. The chorus is really dope, by the way. But her vocal should be a little more mixed over the instruments. That's really all I got. It might be New Order. God, he was on like all, you could tell like your music sounds a lot like his. That's what, like when you listen to 80s music and you know how you can compare it to yours, it's always the same sound, but usually 9 times out of 10 it's the same dude, and I can't remember what his name is. I have to do some research after this, but Alterity, thank you for submitting about 30 some odd years later. But head over to Facebook and share the stream, because I said murder Bodak Jello. Alright. Please don't troll me. At least let this be somewhat good. Maybe what I would do with her vocals in this drop, instead of having them at a default pitch, is pitch them up or layer them with a lower and a higher. So it sounds really weird. You know what I'm saying? And your hi-hats seem to be the only thing that has a high frequency to it. I would mix maybe in that lead you have. To compensate that lead you have, I would mix some highs in. Unless you cut them out. It sounds like a horn more or less. That's right there, how she's speaking right there. Maybe pitch that up. Do the cliche. Add some basses in here, dude. Make this hybrid trap. Like, I swear to God, add some basses, like, right. All you need for hybrid trap to know how to make hybrid trap music, dubstep drums, and a bass every so often. That's it. If you can, I forgot how it sounds like. Oh. Sounds like that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you made this a little faster in tempo, 150 maybe, dubstep bass like right when it opens, pitch her vocals up a little bit, and have some heavy dubstep kick and snare basses mixed correctly with some heavy side chaining. Not heavy, but like sharp side chaining. Yeah, I can see that happening. Thanks for submitting the track. Head over to Facebook, share the stream. because I said. Casper, thank you for saying the truth. Appreciate it. I'm not even checking the timestamps. Okay. Hardstyle.
Apocalypse. He walked out into the gray light.
I watched this movie called The Cloverfield Paradox the other day. I don't know. I saw apocalypse, and that's immediately what hit my head. I don't know why. It's not an apocalypse technically.
And
It's just a monster that's been in the movies for the last like 5, 6, 7 years. That makes no sense.
Charcoal.
I'm actually mad about the movie.
Everywhere was veiled in darkness.
Murder, it really was a terrible movie. I'm a huge fan and like follower of creature concept designing. It's actually what I wanted to go to college for. So creature concept designing and character concept designing for movies, video games, that's what I wanted to do for a living. That's what I went to college for, but the college for it was tedious. Neville Page is the person who created the monster from Cloverfield 1, and I guess 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I guess Cloverfield Paradox. But my only confusion is how the heck the movies can like tie together. How do they coincide? Like what is keeping them together? There needs to be another movie that comes out that sums all this crap up because it's confusing. It was terrible. It was awful. Sorry, I'm just mad. The only way they connect is that monster. That's it. 10 Cloverfield Lane, the monster shows up at the end of the movie. And this one, the monster shows up at the end of the movie. Can they make it where it's like filmed on the video camera and the monster's attacking them again? That's a whole lot easier to explain. Hey, there's a monster in New York City and we're filming it. Help. That's kind of...
Everything was obscure. The apocalypse.
I'd fix that gap right there. That was a little weird. Michael Bay, Ridley Scott, the guys who produced It, and one other person I forget. The Dunmore brothers, I think is what they're called, for Stranger Things. Yeah, they're good too. At least at writing. Their production quality could be a little better, but they are under budgeted, so. Which makes no sense, because for the second season of Stranger Things, they were over budget because they had a backing, and I don't understand how the quality didn't really improve in the CGI work. But then again. I maybe would still add some more low into that kick. I understand that hardstyle is a little unorthodox when it comes to how kicks are mixed in the tracks. They're kind of more or less a noise than they are an actual kick. But I would add like a low frequency thud right when the kick hits in the transient. That way we know that there's like a little bit more of a pounding in there. Unless there is and I can't hear it because my headset's trash. That could very well be a problem. Oh, Jasper, probably a mod, because they might be in the wrong section. Techlix is not one for bullcrap when it comes to people posting tracks in random places. I like it a lot, actually. The only thing I don't like is right there how it cuts out so abruptly. I like the way the vocals are mixed in. It's really cool. I want to know where to get those vocals because they are sick. But I would add like a little sub-bass thud in that kick. You know what I'm saying? Just got a WA Future House kits for free from your website. Yeah, probably. We have a crap load of stuff on there. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually went digging. You might find some free stuff that's already been that was once for sale. Pretty sure. Yeah. What I would do is add a little thud when that kick hits, so there's more of a low end pulse again, where the transient is, so we feel a little bit more of a kick feeling. I know it's not how hardstyle usually rolls, but that is my feedback. Unless there is one there and I can't hear it, very real possibility my headset's trash. I would fix this fade out here, and because it's just way too suck all that out and push all that in. It's kind of like way too sudden. Other than that, I really like how hardstyle is as a whole, as a genre, and how intense it is. So I really dug this. Thank you for submitting the track. Empira? The Geek. Le Geek. El Geeke. Ow. Wait a minute. Empira. Vocals are from a friend of yours? He's a god. Tell him to do voice acting if he's not. He's missing out on a lot. Just saying. Tell him to contact a local radio station or Michael Bay, and he's got a job. EDM pick, what do you mean? You've got a bit cold. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Ah, my eyeball. Oh, I was like, I've gotten a bit cold. Am I being mean? No, honestly, I'm not sick. I just have been coughing for no good reason for a month now. I should probably go to I've gone to one, but I should probably go again and get it evaluated. Make sure it's not more than what it is. It's mostly when I talk for long periods of time at a loud volume like I do. That's when it... Yeah, Tech, look, it's unfortunate, isn't it? I'm a little bit confused as to what's happening here. Hang on. The idea is super cool. Some of the percussions in the background and the effects are a little too loud. He's blazing 420. Untrue. Well, I got sinister super quick. What happened? It's like you entered the dark hallway of the haunted house. You know what I'm saying? What has happened? What has happened? If this was all your build-up, that's a lot of time. If The Geek, if you're here, if this is your build-up, like 80% of this stuff right here could be cut out. And the bass mixing here could be a little better. And a little better sound design would help you. We got some packs on our website. You can go get free trials and get some packs. There's that classic serum bark. So my feedback overall, not over the mixing, over really, because it's kind of hard to tell you what to do whenever there's like 4 genres before the 2-minute mark. I would keep it in one genre, really. If you're gonna play with the whole sweet sounding, high volumed effects, chill out, vibey song, and then just turn right and there's like a dark hallway and you jump to dubstep somehow, I wouldn't do that. I would have stuck with this intro part and kind of rode that out, because that would have been a relaxing song to just chill out to. My feedback would be pick one before 2 minutes or after 2 minutes, and then work on that. What genre is this? I can't tell you. But The Geek, nonetheless, creative idea. Appreciate the creativity. A lot. Shaq, what's up? Welcome. Go share the stream, The Geek, on Facebook, because please, I'm sick. Well, I'm not, but I'm gonna skip a little bit in the tracks now.
I'm getting that paper, I'm stacking those dollars. Baby, come and holler if you wanna roll with the baller. We get poppin' and stacking those dollars. We get poppin' and stacking those dollars. Hoppin', 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 hoppin'. Stacking those dollars.
Chad, the only thing I have is your reverb's a little too intense, so I would like crank that down a little bit, not too much. I like the reverb on hybrid trap songs is usually always a really good thing. But what I would do is a little bit more creative of a sound design here, and something that has a little bit more of a pluck to it, less than a hold down the note sustain feel, just so there's more of a vibe there. But other than that, mix down is poppin'. I didn't even realize the song was called Poppin' when I said that. I'm not even kidding. I do enjoy the change up over here, so go with that. Just that main bass / lead thing is a little scratchy and weird. So, dude, it's killing me. Drums are mixed well, side chatting's good, mastering's a little on the money side, but nothing you can't practice. You've gotten a little better with mastering since you've been coming to these streams, so keep progressing on that. I like the change up from the first to second feel. Fix that lead a little bit, work on it a little bit. Try to mess around with some sounds, see what you can get out of it, and then make your decision. I'm making a rhythm track, and I can't tell you how many times I have switched basses on this drop. It's driving me insane. You would think that rhythm would be the most easy genre to write a song in and to sound design in. It's just a bunch of comb filters on a bass. That's it. But it's the most difficult to make sound good. I don't want to make it sound too generic. That's just annoying. It's just frustrating. It's so frustrating. That's some classic house. If you guys have listened to Virtual Riot's song "Pray for Rhythm," if you guys go on YouTube and go to Disciple Records' YouTube channel, you'll see him kind of go through how he did it. His song is 94 tracks long. I've never made a song past about 40, maybe in the 60s actually. I've never made a song past that. 94 tracks. That's ridiculous. Honestly, the mix down is good. Sidechaining can be a little more intense on that kick, so you can hear the kick come through a little bit more. The drop is a little too generic. I mean, house is a generic genre in general. You really can't change it up, or else it becomes progressive house, or techno house, or some other house, somebody else's house. All these houses, and you just gotta know which one to walk into. You're walking into the generic house, the generics house. I don't know where I'm going with this, but just try to fall out of the generic house. You know what I'm saying? Mix down overall though, it's cool and it fits the house fully. But I feel like mix could be a little louder too. I feel like it's a little too quiet. And that kick is good, but I feel like a sidechaining could be a little bit more where the kick's ends can come in, the tail end of the kick come through. Now I mean, and maybe change up. Need to change up a little bit in the second half, but just try to not follow into that follow into the generic side of things. I cannot speak today. What is happening? Last week I was so tired. Do you guys remember that? You all that was here? I was so tired last week I could hardly say anything.
Face down, ass up, that's the way we like to fuck. Face down, ass up,
right.
That's the way we like to fuck. Face down, ass up, that's the way we like to fuck. Face down, ass up, That's the way we like to fuck. That's the way we. That's the way we.
Hey, what does FDAU stand for? Hardstyle. There is a that it's like. That's what I'm saying. I like hardstyle as a whole, as a genre. The intensity, the crazy sense. I like that. I'm down with that. But I feel like happy core. Or I guess it's happy hardcore then. I guess hardstyle and hardcore are two different genres. No, I guess the genre that I like when it comes to hard anything is hardcore, and mostly happy hardcore because the vibes are just more fun to deal with. Like Gamer and Stonebank, I love them. I feel like with hardcore, Audio Trackers is quality, and as you can see by his audio file, normalization has gotten a lot better. So Audio Trackers is one of the people that's impressed me a lot since we've started doing this. I'm not saying the song is bad either. Should be Big Room? Yeah, you're right. I would work on fixing that kick. I know hardstyle kicks have such a style to them, but I would add some more of a kick transient in there. Other than that, I really don't have anything else because it fits the hardstyle persona. I would just add a more of a transient in there. Transient is the impact of a kick. Just so you know, when I say transient, that's what I mean. Blaze or Jasix, how do you say your name? Am I saying it right? J6? Am I just an idiot? You do realize... Hello? You do realize I could have dropped my croissant is like 3 years old now. And it's still... People are... Like, I feel like Vines now that were jokes 3 years ago that kind of died out. Like, oh, it's stupid, it was Vine. And now we're coming back. Okay. That bass, that tone could be a little lower in volume. I saw, I think it was you. No, it was Murder. Mentioned something about if you want it to be creative, then it has to be good. If you want it to be different, then it's hard. And you're right. I'll show you the drop I'm working on and how generic it sounds to me and how frustrating it is whenever we get through everybody. At like 2 o'clock, I'll go to the track. The scratching effect is pretty cool though. I like that. That bass tone could be a little lower in the volume, and I can't tell if there's a good sub on it or not. So I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't praise your low end because my headset just with this rig on. Without this rig on, it's good. I want you all to know that. Without this rig on, it is good. But when I have this audio set up for the stream, it just craps on my headset. Yeah, that mid-range bass is it's mix and its sound and liveliness in the mix, volume wise, is the only thing I have a problem with so far. Other than that, I have no. What is with all this chitter chatter? What is happening? Get it out. There's a general chat for that. I had the Krakens 2 a while ago, and the lowest. They are. They're really good headsets. It's just this audio rig, I tell you. I wish Apple would just make. If anyone from Apple's watching, if any of these 32 people are one of them is from Apple, I doubt it. Make your computers with an audio driver where I don't have to set up a rig like this. Just make it easy for me. It's stupid. It's annoying. That's a whole different video for that. Is this a big room track? Oh, that lead is a little too loud. Drums are a little too underwhelming, so I would mix the drums in a little bit more, give them a little bit more of a thud, and a heavier sidechain. It's so easy to set up active monitors, yeah, but I don't have it. Why is this light making me like a sun god right now? I don't understand it. It's not bright. It's a pirated melody, isn't it? The lead is too overpowering. Drums can be mixed in a little better. Lead's melody is a little too generic. I feel like Big Room as a whole, this could totally be wrong and not Big Room. That's what it sounds like it to me. It is really generic. I feel like any Big Room, Future Bass, unless you mix it with melodic dubstep elements, they're all so generic. That's why dubstep's such a favorite genre of mine, is because you could change it so many ways. Yeah, so the lead melody is a little too generic. I would fix it up a little bit. I'm not going to listen to the second half because I got people to get to. And I would fix that kick, and the drums need to be a little louder in the mix. The lead is too overpowering. Some more sidechain. That's yeah, I guess. I mean, I've been producing for 7 years, and I'm nowhere near as good as I should be. kick is nice.
What I'm looking for. Oh, maybe you can find my kind, babe. Maybe you can find my kind, babe. I can hear your laughter coming waves across the shore. Oh, maybe you can find my kind, babe. Maybe you can find my kind, babe. We could be together. You're the one I'm looking for. Oh, maybe you can find my kind.
Is that all it's gonna?
Maybe you can find my kind, babe.
If you don't have any, I can't tell. Someone help me. Does he have low end pulsing with those chords? Is there a sub bass that pulses in the same LFO and rate as those chords? If so, good job. If not, do that. Chat delay might be a little big. It might just be the stream's delay. If you put more in time into producing, you could easily... Yeah, but I spend a lot of time sound designing more than anything. That's kind of what screws me. I mean, heck, if I had the time, I could make like 10 really good presets a day if I could just do this as my full-time job. But I do other stuff behind WA's scenes as well. There is a sidechain, but it's not very heavy. I would add a heavier sidechain, especially for a future bass track. And I would change up this introduction a little bit, add something that's different. I feel like you just copied and pasted and copied and pasted, copied and pasted, build up, drop. I feel like add something different here. Vocals are really smooth and nice. Kick is really punchy and good. Add a side chaining that's a little heavy on the chords, short one but really deep and impactful. And add a sub bass that pulses with their you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of what. Add a sub bass that pulses with the chords. That's really all that I can give you on that. Techlix, are you happy now? God. Telling me to speed up. You're a mod. You shouldn't be saying anything. You should be praising. I'm kidding. So while I'm listening to this Techlix, tell me this story, because there's something you said I can't remember what it was. Can you not do that? CPU, please. 16 gigabytes of RAM, 4.0 boosted gigahertz processor. You'd think I wouldn't have this problem. I like your fill a lot. I actually dig this a lot. It's really vibey. It's the second time I've done that. Vibes. I meant to hit the pause button. I like it a lot. I really don't have anything else to change on it. What's this in? I really don't have anything to complain about, dude. Okay. Out of all the tracks you've submitted to me, this is your best one in my opinion. I really have nothing to complain about. I can't really. I'll go back later on and check the low end on it and give you like a if there is anything wrong, I'll send you a personal message. But since it's gonna be released on a label, but I don't have anything else to complain about. Really, I really don't. I really don't have anything else to complain about. Well, that was it for the day, guys. But I am going to like how I titled my tracks, Rhythm 2. I don't know where my drop is gonna be. So here's what I'm talking about. Tell me this doesn't sound on the generic side. The sound design, probably not. It's more or less the pattern. The sound design took me not a while. It's a very generic sounding sample, very easy. If you guys want it, I can give it to you in the Discord chat. But just because I'm nice like that. But let me know if I feel like this sounds. Well, it's been like 3 days since I've listened to this. What happened there? Okay. Anyway. That feels too long too. It's not mastered or mixed at all, just so you know that. It's not that rhythmy bad good. No, I know it's not that rhythmy. That's what I was saying. I wanted it to be like the drums. The drums somewhat fit the rhythm style, I guess, and I guess the introduction does too. But I'm more focused on that. I can always change this. This is the eye-catching part. I didn't want... Yeah, no, I've been kind of listening to his... I watched his Disciple Records video where he kind of goes through his... he kind of goes through his track of Pray for Rhythm. And I looked at how his arrangement was. And it kind of fits this, but I feel like this is all... There's 3 variations of the same preset here. One of them has a little bit more sync than the other one. And this one has a little bit more of a sync when I pull the FM up a little bit. It does that whine sound. That's all one preset. Just 3 different copies of the same preset tweaked a little bit. I'm gonna add more basses. I think that's what I gotta do. I gotta change up some basses in there, add some more. That's what I'm saying. I gotta spend more time on sound design. But it is very helpful, especially since my track is only at the moment like in the 30s and his is 94 tracks. That is insane. But yeah, guys, that's gonna just about do it. So I know I usually do it on Sundays, the stream, but yesterday I had a lot to do. So I couldn't really do it yesterday. I had too much stuff to work on. We have a lot of stuff coming out. Who made that really insane? That was me. I'm not kidding. That was me. Rest in peace, yours is neck. Yeah, it happens a lot. Anyway, so we only have 31 people watching now. I'm assuming a lot of them are kind of just gone. So next week, yeah, I'll do it on Sunday. I always, for some reason, stuff always comes up at the worst times on Sundays. So I will see you guys next week on Sunday. So actually not a week from now, 6 days from now, technically. Come here, be here at the same time as it was today, an hour and 5 minutes before now, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time it is for you guys. That's only 30 channels, yeah. That was only 30 tracks, in the song I just showed you. This drop is only like 6. I'm adding more in. There's gonna be more effects that follow in, but like. yeah, that's only like 34 tracks. But anyway, I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for submitting the tracks. Thank you. That's all I got to say. Goodbye. See you next week. Have a good rest of the day. And I will see you guys in 6 days.